Hola! In this video, I will talk about the largest floods in the last 400 years that are beginning to overwhelm China's central cities and surrounding grain growing and agriculture zones. At present, 100+ million people will need to evacuate. China is not the only one that will be facing this extreme reduction in food production in the very near future. We must adapt and change rapidly. Waking up to what is happening is important, but first and foremost, we must understand why we're here on Earth right now, living this chaos. Please consider joining me in this adventure. Hola, from Cascada Café Retiro in Popayan, Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. What is now happening can only be described as the largest floods in recorded history in China. Very few people are talking about the grand solar minimum and the 400-year low solar activity cycle. Every Chinese dynasty collapses during this time. No dynasty has survived more than 400 years, and what is happening now is the perfect example of why. I had the privilege to visit the Three Gorges Dam and cruise on the Yangtze River. As soon as the water goes over the dam, they will be discharging 1.5 million cubic meters per second compared to the regular 40,000 cubic meters that's being discharged presently. This is a picture of the river basin and the different regions of the Three Gorges River drainage basin. There are stupendous amounts of water flowing in where 10-foot wide streams are turning into half-mile wide rivers coming out of the mountain valleys and now coming to the crest downstream. The engineers of this project warned that the dams are not for flood control. It was constructed for electricity generation. Some cities are already underwater and becoming more so as time moves on. Three Gorges Dam fills up all the way back to Chongqing. This is how long the basin is and how gigantic the reservoir is. It is now totally full. Wuhan, which we're all familiar with by now, is soon going to be with at least 9 feet of water sweeping all the way down to Shanghai. Predictions are that Shanghai will have 20% of the city 6 or more feet underwater, and 20 million people just out of Shanghai will need to be evacuated. All the farm fields are flooding, and this is multiplying the food shortage problem by the day. I'm using information from Adapt 2030 video of July 22nd. I will continue to do updates of information I feel is important as this unfolds. The factory zones are inundated across the majority of the highest density manufacturing areas where the world's mask supplies come from. It will be more months before they can get back to production again. These images are coming out of everywhere, from city after city after city. China now blows up smaller dams on Yangtze River tributaries to ease flooding and avoid catastrophic failures with overtopping. The floodwaters are overwhelming the croplands and the major cities. This is happening everywhere, absolutely everywhere across the central region of China. As another dam is blasted on the Yangtze River tributary, death toll climbs to more than 150. This is an image of the vastness of the flooding through the croplands. This will create one of two possibilities. There will be massive famine because they cannot feed the people, or they will go on a massive buying spree unlike the world has ever seen for food imports. This will start with rice from Asia and move to every continent. The images of flooded farm fields appear everywhere, confirming that all of the crops will not be harvested this year at all and will not go to market. This is the rice growing map. It shows the extreme drought where they grow rice in the north. The corn and the wheat is grown in the same areas. Here's a picture where even the greenhouses are not providing protection for the crops because floods come from below. Further, bridges are being washed out and therefore delivery is prevented. With the droughts in the north, the yields have been reduced by at least 50%. When we look at the central area, it looks like a 100% loss. China's output will be reduced 80 to 85% this year. Finally, the locusts have also arrived. If the floods haven't destroyed something, the locusts will. I will talk more about that in my next video. As this tapers off, we will start seeing mass migration of human population. My suggestion is, move now while you still can. This option will not be possible in the near future because this flooding event is not a once-in-a-lifetime event. These problems will be intensifying all over the world up until at least 2030. Please go into action now and make the choice between listening to your ego-mendacious mind and the external authorities or listening to your soul, the internal authority. I was blessed with time, created this new life outside of the totalitarian control system, and now I wish to be part of creating small, sustainable communities. Please contact me. My contact information is below. The coronavirus pandemic is a psychological force that's being used to enslave humanity completely at every possible level through technocracy. There's no government solution. We must first remember who we are and then understand what we're doing here on Earth, specifically right now. Assistance with farmland purchases in Colombia and Ecuador. Spanish lessons. Long-term stay at a Colombian farm, 130 USD per week, 470 USD per month. Truth Consciousness Workshop at Cascada Café Retiro in Spanish, French, and English. Dental treatment of high quality and migraine treatment with NTI dental appliance. Infinite love.